introduction about our Ustaz for today. So Ustaz Ahmad Shamil Muhammad Isa graduated from University Al-Azhar, Egypt, with a master's degree in Sharia Usul Fiqh in 2021 with Mumtaz distinction. So currently his position is the CEO of Institute Ulama Al-Juwaini in Bandar Baru Bangi. So he is married with 4 children, alhamdulillah. So without further ado, I would like to pass the session to Ustaz Ahmad Shamil to deliver his tadabbur.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So the sound is clear, I think.
All good, alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Dazlan, and I would like to greet all professors, lecturers, and staffs of Kuliah of Engineering UIA. And I'm I feel honored to be your guest today to deliver some. I'll share some my point of tadabbur in Quran, inshallah. So I think I have a slide to share with you. Maybe it takes about 40 minutes for my speech, and then I will open the Q&A session. Is it right? Is that okay? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I want to share the slide, but I actually okay.
Oh, I still cannot see. Okay.
Yes.
See.
Is it seen?
Now yes.
Yes.
Now I can
Okay.
see.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah. So we gathered here today to we discuss about a journey to enlightenment that one of the fellow lecturers contact me and asked me about to deliver some session or sharing about this Tadabbur Al-Quran in English. So I would like to share with you all this topic because this topic is very personal to me, and I think all of us have gone some journey, personalized journey, our personal journey in Al-Quran. So I would like to share my part of it. So before we go to the Tadabbur itself, I want to maybe this is some agenda for today's discussion. In 40 minutes, we will discuss these subtopics, and this is there is Al-Quran's mission, and then between tafsir and tadabbur, I think all of you are familiar with this difference, but I just want to take it as a note, because before we go through the tadabbur, we have to know that we are not tafsiring, or we are not clarifying the meaning, but we are just reflecting. So then we go to part 1 to in tadabbur, lessons from ayah 258 to 260 from Surah Al-Baqarah. And maybe all of you can open the pages of Al-Quran. In the early of Juzuk 3, Juzuk 3, chapter 3, in early of chapter 3, in the pages of 43, yes, 43. So you can open it earlier, because when we come to this session, then we can understand it lively, directly. And then I go the other evidences supporting the theory that I come out from the Tadabbur itself. So Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Al-Quran's mission. So before we go through the Al-Quran, Yeah, I know maybe all of us have some experience in tadabbur or in tafsir, or maybe some of us have some habit, yeah, daily habit. We go one by one ayah and we reflect ourselves to this Quran. But I just want to state here that Al Quran also has stated its mission. It is not just for healing. Yes, because maybe some people today, merely teenagers or teens, take Al Quran as healing, healing kata apa? Healing device. It is not just healing, because actually Al Quran have its mission stated by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. So let's um, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. This is the first ayah of Surah Ibrahim. ألف لام را كتاب أنزلناه إليك لتخرج الناس من الظلمات إلى النور بإذن ربهم إلى صراط العزيز الحميد. Alif Lam Ra, this is a book which we have revealed to you, so that you may bring mankind out of darkness into the light by the permission of their Lord, to the path of the Almighty, the praiseworthy. This Surah Ibrahim, the first verse. So the first one, we know that Al Quran is not just a book, but it is a kit that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been bestowed upon him, has been revealed upon him. This kit to bring out mankind from the darkness into the light. So that is why I put the name of the session is Al Quran, a journey to enlightenment, because uh, we go to the light, so we would be enlightened. So the first one, we go to the light because we need it, and then after times, after we go the process, we are the light. That is what I want to say. And after we go the process of the enlightenment, then we are the light, just like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mean one of the name is An-Nur. Nur. He is the light. He is the light itself, because Allah has given him the Quran, and he brought mankind from darkness to light. And then the other mission or the other objective from the revelation of Al Quran, this is from Surah Sad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. كتاب أنزلناه إليك مبارك ليدبروا آياته وليتذكر أولو الألباب. This is a blessed book, which is Al-Quran, which we have revealed to you, O Muhammad, that they might reflect upon its verses, Tadabbur, and that those of understanding would be reminded. Ulul Albab. Yeah, Ulul Albab would be reminded. So these two ayah that I put here state the main objective of Al-Quran itself. Of course, there are other missions. It's like it would be supplements or shifa wa rahmah, the medication and mercy to the Muslim. But it is not what we are here today. We are here today to understand the depth of reflection, so that we could be enlightened by the light of Al-Quran. So we come to the next subtopic, the difference between tafsir and tadabbur. I think all of us have known this, but I just want to make it as a note. And the first one, the tafsir. Tafsir is, you see the main goal here. The objective of tafsir is to clarify the Al-Quran's meaning. There are many words that need to be clarified. So the scholars would who have some disciplined knowledge would come to clarify it with the strict discipline. So it is very, it is very strictly for those who know it. But the main goal of Tadabbur, it is contemplation. We want to, to internalize the message of Al-Quran, allowing it to transform your heart, actions, and worldview. For me, to put it in, to put it in words, the Tadabbur is bridging from ourselves to Al-Quran. The Tadabbur is live in the Al-Quran. That's why the Tadabbur is, for me, is living in the Al-Quran itself. Because Al-Quran is just like some dimension that it was beyond space and time dimension. Because Al-Quran tells us about the story of Adam and tells us a story of Al-Qiyamah. Al-Quran tells us a story of the companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the story is timeless, and the place is boundless, borderless. Yeah. So that's why we want to contemplate it. We want to tadabbur it. You have to live in it. So that's why we go to the main subjects. Main subjects in tafsir, it's just about the verses that need more explanation, the words that it's roughly not yet known, just like khattarin kafur. Khattar, what is khattar? And so the ulama or scholars will have to find its meaning. Mata, what is mata? Mata is anything, or mata is is not worthy a thing. And so that is the job of scholars, to tafsir, interpretation. So the main subjects of tadabbur is our soul and our heart, because Al-Quran wants to enlighten our heart. And then require discipline of knowledge. The tafsir, of course, as we have told it before, we have talked about it, strict and has detailed conditions. Some said the scholar itself need about 6 discipline of knowledge in tafsir: nasakh mansukh, usul fiqh, the asbabun nuzul, the lugha arabiyah, the Arabic language, detailed Arabic language, in deep knowledge of it. So no, it is just not for anybody. But the tadabbur, and the required discipline of knowledge, we just have to had we just had to have some correct foundation understanding of Al-Quran. We know the simple meaning of it, and we know that some aqidah, some boundaries of Muslims, then we can go tadabbur in Al-Quran. Because we do not create hukum of it, and we do not create any new knowledge or new information about Allah, or about hari akhirah, or about alam ghaib, and so on. We just want to make it very personal to us, and we want to take action and we want to learn something, and we want to reflect it with our personal lives. And the qualifications, of course, tafsir, they are scholars, and every scholars, not all of it is capable to tafsir Al-Quran. But tadabbur, all mankind, even kafir. Even kafir can tadabbur Al-Quran. Because Allah said in that late verses that we read before, kitabun anzalnahu ilaika mubarakun liyadabbaru ayatihi. Liyadabbaru ini for all of mankind that has been revealed upon them Al-Quran, they can contemplate the verses. And the position in knowledge, and the tafsir itself can be used as reference in knowledge, because it is based on strict and disciplined field of knowledge. But in tadabbur, it cannot be used as reference, only as personal interpretation and reflection, unless recognized by scholars, in which case it can reach to the level of tafsir. Just like tafsir fi zilal. Fi zilal al-Quran, Said Qutb, the late Said Qutb, Al-Shahid Said Qutb said, It is just my khawatir. Khawatir ni just what Allah, the ilham come upon me about Al-Quran. But then the ulama Al-Azhar, somehow they recognize the Fizilal as tafsir. So it can be tafsir. It can be one of the reference in knowledge. So that is the difference between tafsir and tadabbur. I hope this information is very helpful, because some of us would be very reserved. Yeah, I don't want to talk anything about Al-Quran because Al-Quran is so sacred, so I cannot be pandai-pandai and in tafsir. No, we are not tafsiring. We are not interpreting. We are just contemplating. And we do not create any hukum, because hukum have the discipline. We do not tafsir because tafsir also has the discipline, but we just want to tadabbur because tadabbur is what is practical to us. What is practical for us to act in life. Just like one day Abu Bakar as-Siddiq said that if my row of a camel, if my tali unta is lost, I could find it in Al-Quran. And I could find it in Al-Quran. So how come? Al-Quran is not have some kind of GPS or what Waze or one device. No. But this is to Abu Bakar, Al-Quran is everything. Al-Quran can give him everything, because the quality of relationship between him and Al-Quran is beyond that we can imagine. So, and then I want to go to how can Al-Quran be lights to life. All stages in life have been described in Al-Quran. Just as example, some example in it. The infant, the mother of Musa set him afloat in the Nile River when the Musa was a baby. The Isa alayhi salam, Prophet Isa alayhi salam, spoke while he was a baby. So that scene, that plot is stated in Al-Quran. And then for the teenagers, Yusuf alayhi salam and his father Jacob alayhi salam, how the Yusuf told his father about his dreams. His dreams of a sun and a moon and 11 planets prostrating to him, sujud to him. And so it is when he is a teen, maybe about 12 or 10 years old. So also Daud alayhi salam killed Goliath in second juz in Al-Quran. The Daud alayhi salam just 10 years old at that time. And then Maryam alayhi salam served in Al-Quds. It is said in Surah Maryam. So we know that Maryam has been offered by her mother to be the servant of Al-Quds. So Maryam alayhi salam served in Al-Quds when she was a teenager. And then Musa alayhi salam confronted the Pharaoh's people when he tried to help his own people, and he accidentally killed the Pharaoh's people. It is said in Surah Al-Qasas. So that kind of episodes of plot in the teen stages of life also been stated in Al-Quran. And so we go to adult stage in life. We know that Musa alayhi salam married to a daughter of Shu'aib alayhi salam in Surah Al-Qasas also. And we know that Sulaiman alayhi salam married to Balqis in Surah An-Naml. And then Ibrahim alayhi salam left Siti Hajar, and that is being said in Surah Ibrahim. And then the advice of Luqman al-Hakim. So it is the father to son bonding, and it is being mentioned in Al-Quran. And how come Musa alayhi salam search for a wife also being mentioned, and how come Ibrahim alayhi salam left his wife to follow the Allah's rule also being mentioned. And then for the elderly, after when the Yaqub alayhi salam reached his death, the advice of Yaqub alayhi salam to his children in Surah Al-Baqarah. that he said to his children, what will you worship after I go? So the children replied, we could we would we would worship, and we worship your God, your ancestors God, and so on, your ancestors, your forefathers, our forefathers God, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so from the very beginning of life to the very ending of life, there is plot in Al-Quran being mentioned, that we come to conclusion life in Al-Quran, it is some kind of all forms of life praised in the Quran are closely related to faith, struggle, and religion. And then the Quran places the value of faith, aqidah, as a measure of worth for life, price tagging. Yeah, because Al Quran doesn't see the money or wealth as a measure of worth for a life, but Al Quran sees the prophet. Not all prophets are rich. Some of them, just like David and Dawood and Sulaiman. But many of them is just normal people. And then to make Al Quran be the lights of our life, we should see how lives in Al Quran be told and make it our role, our benchmark and role model. So that is our our introduction in life in Al Quran. And then I think we can go to the Tadabbur itself. Uh, until this, is anyone having any question? Or I just go through the slides? So I think every yes.
Any questions from the participant? I think we can proceed then. I think no questions.
All right. Okay. So you can proceed. Yeah. All right. So and then I would like to everybody here to open the page 43. Yes, 43 in Musaf Rosam Usmani 43, and so we can together. I would read it in fastly, inshallah. From the darkness to the light. Lesson from Surah Al-Baqarah 257 260. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الله ولي الذين آمنوا يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور والذين كفروا أولياؤهم الطاغوت يخرجونهم من النور إلى الظلمات أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. ألم تر إلى الذي حاج إبراهيم في ربه أن آتاه الله الملك إذ قال إبراهيم ربي الذي يحيي ويميت قال أنا أحيي وأميت قال إبراهيم فإن الله يأتي بالشمس من المشرق فأت بها من المغرب فبهت الذي كفر والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. أو كالذي مر على قرية وهي خاوية على عروشها قال أنى يحيي هذه الله بعد موتها فأماته الله 100 عام ثم بعثه قال كم لبثت قال لبثت يوما أو بعض يوم قال بل لبثت 100 عام فانظر إلى طعامك وشرابك لم يتسنه وانظر إلى حمارك ولنجعلك آية للناس وانظر إلى العظام كيف ننشزها ثم نكسوها لحما فلما تبين له قال أعلم أن الله على كل شيء قدير. وإذ قال إبراهيم رب أرني كيف تحيي الموتى قال أولم تؤمن قال بلى ولكن ليطمئن قلبي قال فخذ 4 من الطير فصرهن إليك ثم اجعل على كل جبل منهن جزءا ثم ادعهن يأتينك سعيا واعلم أن الله عزيز حكيم. So that is the recitation. I deliberately recite it, read it for all of you. because the key to tadabbur is you have to read it. You have to read it in a supposed way. We have to read it with tajweed. We have to read it with makhraj. We have to read it with just like it is revealed. It was revealed like this. So that's why before we go to the meaning, to the tadabbur, contemplation, the feeling, the depth of the meaning, we have to read it very, very just like it was revealed. That's why I told my students or my friends, if you want, I want to go through the deep meaning of Al Quran. I told him, have you read it? Can you read it? Can you read it properly? Have you you have a teacher to teach you how to read it properly? You have a sanad itself, and so because I think when we utter the words, just like Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam uh, give us the Quran. So just like it, so that's when we can go deeper because Al Quran, we have to receive it, we have to take it as it is, not just the meaning, just the contemplation of it. No, we have to read it and we have to just like Sahabah, Tabi'in, have it in their dalam dada mereka, yeah, in their hearts. Okay, the translation. I guess all of us have read the translation in maybe in any language, in Malay or in Arabic or in English. So in English, we can just read it. Allah is the ally of those who believe. He brings them out from darknesses into the light, and those who disbelieve, their allies are Taghut, the deities. They take them out of the light into darknesses. Those are the companions of the fire. They will abide eternally therein. Have you not considered the one who argued with Ibrahim alayhis salam, about his Lord merely because Allah had given him kingship? King Nimrod, Namrud. When Abraham said, my Lord is the one who gives life and causes death. He said, I give life and cause death. Abraham said, indeed, Allah brings up the sun from the east, so bring it up from the west. So the disbeliever was overwhelmed by astonishment, and Allah does not guide the wrongdoing people. Wallahu la yahdil qawma zalimin. And this is come our contemplation. Or consider such an example as the one who passed by a township which had fallen into ruin. He said, how will Allah bring this to life after its death? So Allah caused him to die, to sleep, to die for 100 years. Then he revived him. He said, how long have you remained? The man said, I have remained a day or part of a day. He said, rather, you have remained 100 years. Look at your food and your drink. It has not changed with time. And look at your donkey. And we will make you a sign for the people. And look at the bones of this donkey, how we raise them and then we cover them with flesh. And when it became clear to him, he said, I know that Allah is over all things competent. Allahu ala kulli shay'in qadir. And when Abraham mentioned, O Muhammad, when Abraham said, my Lord, show me how you give life to the dead. Allah said, have you not believed? He said, yes, but I ask only that my heart may be satisfied. Allah said, take 4 birds and commit them to yourself. Then after slaughtering them, put on each heel a portion of them. Then call them, they will come flying to you in haste. And know that Allah is exalted in might and wise. So these 4 ayah, these 4 ayah, 4 verses in Surah Al-Baqarah, I look upon it in 2000, in COVID, in COVID. But when I look upon it, I found something deeper. Maybe we can ask anybody here who want to share his opinion, if he wants. Any one of us want to share his opinions, his contemplation about the the ayah that I state here. The 4 ayah, merely is about the from darkness to the light. Yes, because we start with the ayah, Allahu waliyul ladzina amanu yukhrijuhum minadh dhulumati ilan nur. Anybody wants to share his opinion? Okay, so I just proceed. Yeah, I think I just proceed. So let's see together the difference between stories. There are three stories. Yeah. The first stories of Nimrod. The first story of Nimrod, the non-believer, he get explained by Prophet Ibrahim but refused to accept truth. And just as we know, the Prophet Ibrahim says, my God can make the sun rise from the east and you make it from the west. Can you? And so he couldn't. But he refused to accept the truth because the Nimrod is a non-believer. And then the second story is about the man of fallen town. He is a believer. Some said he was a prophet Uzair alayhi salam, yeah, from the Bani Israel. And the fallen town is Al-Quds. But he get to know the detailed power of Allah after 100 years of sleep or of die. Because Allah make him die for 100 years. For 100 years. And this is the second story. And then the third story is Ibrahim alayhi salam. He is one of the Ulul Azmi, resolute messenger. Get to know the same thing. What is the same thing? It is how would Allah bring back the dying to the light to life, the dead to life. How would Allah bring him back to life? So the same question asked by Ibrahim alayhi salam. And that's my Lord, show me how you give life to the dead. And the man of the fallen town, how will Allah bring this to life after its death? It is the same question. It is the same question, but it is not. The result is different. Yeah. So I state here the difference between stories that we have to contemplate, because every stories have its own narrative. Every story have its personal experience. So I state here, this is a theory that I come out. The closer you are to God, the more time and cost efficient you become. How come? How can I come out from for this theory from these stories? The dialogues itself show us different level of people. The dialogues itself. The man of fallen town use how Allah bring it back to life. Yes, you want to see it? Let's see it again. How will Allah bring this to life after its death? So it is in Malay, kata nama ketiga, dia. Yeah. How he bring this to life after its death. So that's the different. But Prophet Ibrahim stories, he use kata nama kedua. Oh Allah, direct dialogue. Oh Allah, please show me how you bring back to life. So this is the difference. The dialogue itself shows us the difference. And then the ayah in Al-Quran also refers them differently. The first, Nimrod. Alam tara ila alladhi hajja Ibrahim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't mention his name. It is not important. You don't have to know the name. So no name stated. It is just not important because it's not personal. It's just some common people, arrogant ruler. Because the remote is one of the rule of the world. Rule the world for people, two believer and two disbeliever. The believer is Zulqarnain and Sulaiman alayhi salam, and the non-believer is Nimrod and Nebuchadnezzar, and both in Babylon. So Nimrod is one of the arrogant ruler. But Allah also don't mention his name in Al-Quran. And then how Allah refers to the man. Also the man of fallen town, also no name stated, though he is a believer. But Ibrahim alayhi salam stated clearly. The name being mentioned clearly. وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيم. So that shows the relationship is deeper, because just like Allah said, I have to mention your name. You are my lover. You are my kekasih. You are my hamba. Apa orang kata apa? You are my servant, my real servant. I have to mention your name. So that Allah mentioned wa idh qala Ibrahim. And then the teachings are also different. So when the background is different, the outcome is also the different outcome is also different. The Nimrod get teached by the debate and showed his weakness, but he refused to accept the truth. The Nimrod, the first one. And the man, when we see what happened to the man get the knowledge. Then he knows. He eventually knew that how Allah bring back this town to life after its death. He get the knowledge with bare eyes, but he has nothing to do with it. He didn't do anything. He just saw the process. Ibrahim alayhi salam get instructed very clearly, one by one. So Allah asked him to bring 4 birds and slaughter them and put in every top of hill, every pieces of the birds, and then you just call them, and he will come to you. They will come to you in haste. And so that he get clearer point of view, because he was one of the process. He was one of the process. And also the different, I don't state here. The difference between Ibrahim alayhi salam and the man is 100 years. 100 years different. Because Ibrahim alayhi salam gets the knowledge directly, spontaneously, and Allah direct him, instruct him to do this, do this, do this, do this, and then you know. And also the others is the man of the fallen town. Allah shows him, this is what I do. This is what I do. So that, because I highlight the statement here, and this shows us the difference between Ibrahim alayhi salam and the man, or maybe Prophet Uzair alayhi salam. So kat sini, in here we knew the deeper relationship someone have with God will give him more time, more cost efficient, and more barakah. We said it is barakah. Yes. And if we go through to the end of the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam, then we go back to the first ayah that we read. Allahu waliyul ladina amanu yukhrijuhum minadh-dhulumati ila nur. Allah is the ally of those who believe. He brings them out from darknesses into the light. So after Allah state the ayah, He brings them out from darkness into the light. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned these 3 stories represents the darkness and the light, and the highest level of light, from darkness to the light. From shirk, which is Nimrod, polytheism, it is represented for darkness, to tawheed, faith, light, nur. From faith to haqqul yaqeen, highest level of faith by experience, highest level of light. So we know that every verses in Al-Quran is connected to each other. Actually, if we can go from the very beginning of surah to the very ending of surah, also we can get it connected. But I just take it for the example, from the Allahu waliyul ladina amanu until the end of wa'alam anna Allah azizun hakim, the end of kisah surah Ibrahim. And we just like Allah told us, this is how I bring people from darkness to light, just like I bring people from death to life. And the transition is smoothly completed. And the main factor in that transition is the absence of ego and the perfect submission to Allah. And so we can see the perfect presence of ego in the story of Nimrod, and the perfect absence of ego in the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam, and the perfect submission to Allah in both stories, which is the man and the Ibrahim alayhi salam. And what I said as some in the man of town stories, we notice some part he is somehow asking himself, you know, this, how will Allah bring this to life? So he is asking himself, monologue in himself, in itself. But Ibrahim alayhi salam, he don't have, he doesn't even have any ego, any knowledge about it. He just asked the God, just ask the teacher. Don't think for yourself. When you don't know, you just ask the teacher, and the teacher will give you will give you answer directly. But if you trial and error, try and error, so that is why you took a long turn, and rather than you just ask the question and the teacher will give you the answer. So that is, I think, I do not say that this one have some ego, but it is somehow the existence of ego is there somehow. And that's why Allah taught him, you have to spend 100 years so that you will have the knowledge. But Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he asked Allah directly, Allah gave him directly the answer, and he is one of the process, because he get the birds, he slaughtered them, and he put it on hill, and he called upon them. He called upon them, and then the birds come to him. So that is the contemplation of the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam. I don't know if my time is up or not, but the other sources that will support that theory, maybe you can go. Let's just go through. Tawaf. The nearer you are to the Kaabah, the short duration you get for a lap, time efficient. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam followers get more rewards than the men of the books, Jews and Christians, because uh, we get 10 times the rewards. It's one action, and one righteous action, we got 10 times. And Jews and Christians don't have that. And Salah in Masjidil Haram 100,000 times compared to other masjid, because we are nearer to the Kaabah. Salah in Masjid Nabawi is 1,000 times, and in Masjid Aqsa 500 times. Is far, quite far from Kaabah itself. So there is just a glimpse of the fact that support that if you are near to the axis, to the paksi, then you will be cost efficient, and you will get more reward than the others. Effortless effort. Yes. So the conclusion, we come to the last slides. Al-Quran is the light. The teaching of Al-Quran provide guidance in leading a meaningful life, guiding it to Allah. And the conclusion of the contemplation, get deeper, get greater. The deeper you are in relationship with Allah, the greater the result, reward, and cost efficient. And so that we have to build personal experience with Allah Ta'ala. All of us have to build personal experience, personalize. We have our own way, our own path to meet Allah. So get deeper in that, so we get greater. And then Al-Quran depends on how you perceive it. It would be as you perceive. If you see it as a friend, it will be one, and so on. If you see it as a teacher, it will be one. It will be one. It will be your teacher. If you see it as your companion, it will be your companion. So that's why, because just like we said before in the earlier session, how Abu Bakr said, if the rope of the camel, if the rope of my camel is lost, I would find in Al Quran, because he sees Al Quran as everything. His Al Quran is everything. So I think this is my session, and I have come to the last slide of it. So I would like to open for a Q&A if anybody wants to ask. Wallahu a'lam bissawab.
Thank you. Any questions? Oh, our Ustaz today.
I think everyone is fasting, so
So, Ustaz, I have one question because let's say for a younger generation, like they are very distracted. They prefer to watch YouTube. They prefer Netflix rather than having a connection with the Quran. Do you have any
yes.
suggestion, tips, how to make the younger generation closer to Quran?
How to make the younger generation closer to Quran? We have to highlight the value of Al Quran itself. Some writers of books nowadays put, just like I said before, healing with Al Quran is one of the good work. But I think we have to be more, because we have to tell the younger generations that life without Quran is meaningless. You are in the rat race. You are striving in and struggling in your life, but you have nothing to be meaningful. So, uh, if you have the Quran in your life to guide you, it shows you the real life that you have to live with it. This is not the artificial life. Now you are living in YouTube, you are living in Instagram, you are living in TikTok. It is artificial. It is all artificial. And then you sit down alone and you are meaningless. And that is, I think, if I see any teenagers nowadays, I would tell him the same thing, because you have nothing actually. You have your phone, you have your data, you have your Mobile Legend, you have your TikTok, but it is nothing to your real self. It is not adding any value to yourself. Yourself is your spirit. Yourself is your soul. Your soul are being raised by the Quran, by the meaningful action. So I think we have to highlight the meaninglessness of this social media. If you are addicted to it, and you become zombie, and the meaningfulness of Al Quran itself. That's like I say. That's like what I just said before. It is lights to our life. We have all of examples in all of stages in life. We could find it in Al Quran. Al Quran. If you are a teen, if you are teenagers, you can get the example. If you are a girl, you can get the example. If you are not married, you can get the example. If you are married, you can get example. If you have many siblings, you can get example of the siblings of Yusuf alayhi salam. If you have many sons, you have the examples of Yaqub alayhi salam, who have 12 sons. If you have problems in marriage, you have example in Nabi Nuh alayhi salam, Nabi Lut alayhi salam, Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam. Jadi every stage of our life, Allah has mentioned with different characters. This is just we have to live in it. We have to live in it, because some day before, my teacher said to me, when he read the story of kaum Hud, kaum Ad, ya Nabi Hud, the Prophet Hud, kaum Ad, kaum Soleh, how the people of Soleh rejected him. Then my teacher himself, he said, I said taboo words, just like celaka betul, just like that. Celaka betul lah kaum ni. And how come he can say it? Because he is living, is just like he is viewing the scene, the episode. It's just like he saw the prophet being rejected. He saw the work of prophet, who very hardworkingly to want to convince his people, but got rejected just like that. So he just said a taboo words. So I think it is one of the example that we have to mention to them. And living in Al Quran will give you another life. Will give you the real life actually, the real life, because it is life. It is the what Allah wants us to live, and it is the true meaning of life when you live, when you have Al Quran in as your guide, and when you have Al Quran as your friend, to guide you. through life and any obstacles. Wallahu
Thank you
a'lam.
very much. Jazakallah khair. So I think we have time for one more question. Any questions from the floor? From the 147 participants? Okay. 146 now. I think okay.
146, okay.
uh,
In Malay
I think
also can. In Malay also can. No worries.
Arab also can.
In Arab also can, yes. In Arab also can, in Malay also can. Inshallah.
Okay. So I think tak ada soalan. So
Alright, it's
I
okay,
think
it's okay.
if no questions, I think on behalf of IOM, I would like to thank Ustaz Ahmad Shamil for spending his time with us, talking about Tadabbur, talking about Quran during this blessed month of Ramadan. I think that concludes our session for today. So I thank you very much, Ustaz. I hope we'll have another 2 sessions with Ustaz as well.
Inshallah. Maybe some homework that I will give, yeah?
Next time we'll have homework as well.
Inshallah.
So I think Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much, Ustaz. So that ends our session for today. So Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ustaz. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.
Jazakumullah khairan. Afwan, you're welcome, Professor. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.